Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Silent Hill F. This is episode 9. Last time, we finished the game for our first playthrough, coming home to Roost. We got to witness the set ending for your first run, but there is more to uncover in New Game Plus, and that is what we're going to be doing today. So, the game does give you a bit of a hint in regards to what you should be doing to unlock certain endings. It looks like we are pursuing this sword and also not taking any of the red pills. So we're going to load our clear game file. We're going to take the puzzles down to hard, so I guess we can see a different version of them. We've already completed them on their hardest level. In terms of action, I guess because it's New Game Plus, we'll bump that up to hard as well, and we'll see how we go with that in mind. Let's play the game.
ねえ、知ってる？女の人はお嫁さんになるのが仕事なんだって。
仕事じゃないよ。ひな子はお嫁さんになりたくないの？
でもお父さんに言われるとなりたくなくなる。
宿題と同じだね。
やれって言われるとやる気なくす。
Wow, I'm wearing the brooch. New cutscene.
お姉ちゃん。何かいいことでもあった？
昔を思い出してた。お姉ちゃんって小さい頃からずっとお姉ちゃんだったんだなって。
ひな子、私ね。
これお姉ちゃんにあげる。
綺麗だわ。ありがとう。
Subtle changes to the cutscenes noticed already, talking about the marriage element straight away. Ooh. I spent that whole cutscene being like, I'm waiting to see if there's going to be like something different in the environment shots, and it was like right at the end it does a little flash. I was wondering if there was going to be like you can take a peek. It seems like we're going to be having new cutscenes added throughout the story, so we'll have to keep We'll have to keep an eye out for that.
とにかく今後のことは親の方で話を進める。
Oh,
お父さん、ひな子の気持ちだって。
こんな話二度とないんだぞ。ひな子にとってこれ以上の幸せがあるか。あるわけがない。どこ行く。話はまだ終わってないぞ、ひな子。
それにしてもあのひな子がね。
あいつは本当に高校娘だ。何しろおかげで借金は全て返せる。二度と金に困らずに済むぞ。
お父さん、やめてくださいよ。ひな子に聞こえますよ。
locked the fuck in. I did lock the fuck in on this game. Wow.
たまるか。そんなこと。
Oh, this is peak. This is peak. Okay, so there's actually a prompt at the bottom of the screen now where it tells you if you're in a new cutscene, even if there's like, it's the same visually, the dialogue is the key factor. This is fucking amazing right off the bat. So the stuff that you kind of have in the back of your mind, maybe like you're thinking about how these things could be playing out. Playthrough number 2, really opening up more. I guessed that Papa Bear sold off Hinako to clear his debt in an arranged marriage. And that is the story that we are going to be exploring in playthrough number 2, at least to start, which is amazing. So we've got the brooch, which is our little indicator. You get a new brooch every time to indicate how many playthroughs you've gone through. It's I would say that the idea almost of calling it New Game Plus, being like you can go through and keep your stats, a little bit misleading to what it's trying to achieve here, and it should probably try and communicate that it's worth going through again, almost in the way that it's not a New Game Plus, but it's like there was the theory with Silent Hill 2 with James that it was like he's going through like a loop in purgatory, whether it or not it was like those multiple endings or even like continuing on from the original Silent Hill 2, like elements like that of being lost in the fog. You know, how many times have I gone through this? It's a cool thing to think about that like Hinako could have gone through this whole mental journey and then landed right back here to go through again. And it's like that thing where like you slowly work your way through piecing together the whole puzzle before you can truly be free. It's like a Nier situation, like the Nier series having multiple playthroughs, but it's not just replaying the game again. It's similar on like a gameplay and story beats level of making your way through the certain areas, but you go through faster, more efficient, and the new story stuff is makes it worth it. I really wish that the rain from the start of the game would stay. I want it to rain more. What we're going to probably be doing for our Silent Hill F playthrough number 2 is I've already done a lot of exploration in this game. Like we didn't get everything, of course, but I have done a lot of the exploration. So editing wise, I might focus our playthrough number 2 on new stuff and like boss fights and stuff like that to try and condense down the experience and avoid a lot of the repetition. I think that's probably the best idea. So talking about new information and stuff as it comes. We have the journal updating in Formidable Foes. So we can actually read this stuff right at the end because I did not read this. The monster that my father turned into, it acts the same way he did when he let his anger get the best of him. It was only the curse of fatherhood that made my dad appear human. This form, his true form, must have been hidden underneath all along. This is what it looks like on the inside. And the monster that my mother turned into, I'm not even sure she's realized what's happened to her. always being humiliated and abused, her twisted ideal of happiness. There's no way that she was a human to begin with. The way that it's like, it shows the growth specifically on like over her eyes because like she's blind to what's happened. An intimidating monster that appears in Shiramuku, a traditional white wedding kimono. It uses their grand fox arm to compel others to obey. It looks down on me and denies my existence, but at the same time it pities me like it thinks it's better than me or something. Don't look down on me. You're no better. So I like that we do get to keep the journal with maybe adding some new stuff like this. We're filling more of it out. A woman's happiness begins with marriage. She told me that every opportunity she got. Am I supposed to believe that she's actually happy with the life she has now in this house? Today, my dad threw a knife. It got stuck in the tatami mat. There are chips and dings all over the house. Every last one is when he threw something. Is that what happiness is to my mother? Seeing her house in such a sorry state and full of scars? Yee. That's the thing. Hey, do you want to get married? What I've seen of it, awful. I've heard that Dad used to be a fisherman when he was younger and would go on long fishing trips way out at sea. He managed to save up enough money doing that to open up a restaurant, a place where he could put his skills with a knife to use. It didn't work out though. Not only did he lose all his savings, he took on new debt too. Now he spends his days drinking his life away in this sleepy little town that's a long way from the sea. He never even tries to cook anything anymore. It's only when he complains about Mum's food that he pretends to be some kind of important chef. I used to think it was just my dad who was like this, but after listening to all the married women around here complain, every man seems just as bad. All their husbands are just as short-tempered, just as violent, just as useless, and do just as little to help out their wives. After learning this, every grumpy-looking old man in town I see reminds me of him. When I think that I was born and raised just to support these horrible tyrants, I lose all hope. If everything works out, they're going to give my father a lot of money. I'm sure he's desperate to use it to pay back his debts. My father is selling me to pay back his debts. Fucking horrid, man. And that's like representing the, you know, we have like two different versions of these monsters out in the town, of like the giant ones with the knife that are kind of similar to the father, and then the creepy drunk dudes in the street that are just like harassing her. So we're going to dive into another element of your role as a woman. Support the short-tempered deadbeat husbands and apologize for their mistakes.
Iつもお姉ちゃんと眺めてた景色。お姉ちゃんが恋しい。
Obviously, while things are going to start off pretty slow before it dives into the game, I will be curious to see what we can actually interact with. Like, I can see that we have a door there. Like, we'll want to pick up items that we had before because we do not have anything. All we have is our Omamori. So we'll want to keep another lookout on items, especially given the fact that we've bumped up the difficulty. Local doctor's note. And this is new because we've already, like, New Game Plus keeps all of your documents that are not related to puzzles. So I think what that means is either notes that we've missed or new notes are the only ones remaining. Local doctor's note. A fox's wedding is a common expression used for times when it rains while the sun is still shining. According to the older folk here in Abisugaoka, however, they also use this expression for when a young girl was spirited away. Remember when the parents were transformed into monsters? I said it's Spirited Away, but Silent Hill. But that was more like a reference to the parents' transformation. Folklore pertaining to gods and spirits becoming infatuated with human women is not something unique to Japan and can be found across the world. Abisugaoka is no exception to this. Even here, there are old tales of young girls being taken away on a fox's wedding and disappearing forever. During the Meiji and Taisho periods, the town elders would apparently reassure the families of missing daughters that they had been swept away by a fox lord and are now enjoying a life of luxury without a care. I would assume that this is a brand new note because we are diving into, again, sort of like the wedding type of conversations, making that much more clear.
拝んでおこう。
We have clear mind on this version because of, I remember now, that's a harder difficulty thing. And it'll cost us, I assume,
私はどうしたら。
I assume that we have New Game Plus Emma to discover to increase our stats further. A woman is only complete when she's loved, featuring the latest fashion for young women so pure they even make flowers blush. Missed that. Research notes on exotic herbology. Although the most famous translated Western medical book remains the New Text on Anatomy, there was a peculiar work by the name of Exotic Herbology published in the 5th year of the Ane era, 1776 AD. Strange as the text was, it has largely been forgotten by history. A foreign missionary brought this text to Japan, along with a curious medicine that would supposedly allow one to speak with divine spirits. This drug came to be known as Kakura Makakura by locals. However, in order to have contact with the gods, one must first liberate one's soul. However, upon doing so, the individual will fall into a temporary state of unconsciousness, potentially leaving them vulnerable to malevolent spirits. Wow. Again, there's so many different ways that things can come about in this game, whether it's like, you know, an angle of arranged marriage off to that boy that grew up into a man, they moved away, comes back, rich family, cursed bloodline, that sort of thing. But then also this element of being, you know, fed medicine and being in like a meditative state, communicating with gods, being in that sort of... being in that sort of state. This is new. Ah, so this was a door that was closed the first time that we played. So there were doors that were unable to be opened, and they hid them for New Game Plus. I need a key. All right, who's laughing at me? Research Journal Photo 1. A photo attached to a research journal. It appears to be a clue collected by a researcher investigating the folklore of Abisugaoka. Right in front of like a bike and the post box regarding the legend of the sacred sword. However, it is said that the sword's animosity continued to grow even as it remained buried under the earth, so the people erected a sacred barrier around it using Jizo statues as anchors. If one wished to find the sword, they should start by looking for these Jizo statues first. It's not as simple as just going to that tree and getting the sword. We have to find statues first. There's these anchors. We're doing Pennywise. We've got it. The anchors around the city of the town of Derry. It appears the barrier works by creating a spiritual harmony that inhibits the sword's animosity. Harmony, yin and yang, the 5 elements of wuxing, During this period, it was thought that everything was composed of 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Therefore, 5 was a number associated with harmony. In other words, there should be 5 Jizo statues. Are 5 such statues located in this town? I expect tracking them down will prove a tremendous task.
町にあるお地蔵様
So there's one in town. We have the sacred sword. We go to this location. We're now going to like research photos to find these statues. We find 5 of them.
探してみるか
And then we can potentially get some sacred sword action. And then when we have it, we will be making a save file. We'll be making a save file before we purify the sword, so we have a save with a purified version, a save without. Isn't that cute? He always told me, play house like a good girl should. Balcony key. A key stored on the doll's back. It seems to open the door to the next room from the balcony. This is from Sakuko, but it's too cute for me. I'm confused. A woman's magazine. My father isn't fond of seeing these around. Whose house am I in? Like, this is our house. What's this place? Like, the way... This seems like a place that I've been hanging out. Enough. Enough with the boxes that are empty. A boy's diary. I'm going to be a treasure hunter. I'll make sure of it. And then I'm going to become a millionaire by finding treasure all around the world. And not just hunting treasure. A real treasure hunter sometimes takes down big scary beasts and bad guys. And don't forget that they have to learn how to escape dangerous traps too. I was play fighting with the girl who lives next door when Mum got mad at me. She said, "What if you leave a scar on her face? Then nobody will marry her." What's that all about? I think that girl would be a really good treasure hunter, though. She always finds the hidden treasure when we play treasure hide and seek. I want to become a treasure hunter with her someday. Treasure hunting game key. A small iron key, unclear what it opens. Huh. Hacking tips. A book by a well-known expert on how to carry large amounts of supplies increases inventory capacity. New game plus inventory expansion. Let's go. A radio, but I can't interact with it. Alright, so let's open these chests with this key that we have. Treasure hunt game note. You found this place too, huh? You're getting hotter. You gotta use that noggin of yours. Let the thrill of the hunt keep your spirits high. I thought I saw something. Spooky. You're real good at this. Not any bozo could find this one. Too bad this isn't the treasure, but points for trying. You were so close. Kaboom! You got blown to smithereens by my doo-doo bomb and died. Anyone with half a brain would have known this was a trap. I have to open them all. I just have to. Hiya! You got stabbed by my doo-doo spear and died. Anyone looking around here for my treasure is no more than fodder for my traps. Faded bride doll. An old doll in the shape of a bride made from clay. It seems to have been forgotten for a long time. This is the treasure. Okay. So we've got multiple pages here. It took us to page 3 first. Come to think of it, the local elders were talking about a folklorist from Tokyo who came to Ebisugaoka to research the legend of the sacred sword. It is said that Ebisugaoka was a hidden village that once served as refuge for the defeated soldiers of the Taira clan. Unfortunately, evidence to support this tale has yet to be found. Still, Ebisugaoka shares many cultural similarities with those of other hidden villages, and it is my belief that this tale is true. According to other local legends, the soldiers who fled here vowed to exact revenge upon the Minamoto clan and restore the Taira clan to its former glory. Upon swearing this oath, they buried the sword of their deceased leader at the base of the great tree that serves to protect this land. It'd be a historical breakthrough if we could find that sword. So now we go into town. We're going to waste a lot of time checking corners that we've already been looking at, just in case, you know, because, I mean, they've already added quite a few new things that I wasn't expecting, like... They added quite a few new things in regards to, like, notes and rooms that you go into and the changes in the cutscenes. It's really cool to see such a level of immediate change instead of, like, it being 99% the same. I think it's a really good first impression of New Game Plus because it sort of sets the tone that it's worth going through, you know? So this is where that picture is. Aha. Offered the faded bride doll. Okay, so we're offering treasure. I found a damaged Jizo statue in the mountains. The character for Suchi, Earth, can be faintly seen etched into the stone base. I wonder what will happen if I offer something that relates to that character. While we're on the topic of offerings, I remember that I offered my old doll once. My ears were met with the soothing chime of bells upon offering the item. This should do. So clay, because it's of the earth. So items that match the sort of element. So eventually we'll come across another research paper for another statue. Do that 5 times, we'll be able to get the sword, then we can purify it, or not.
本当に羨ましいわ。まさかあの子がね。それに妬ましいわね。どうしてあの子なのよ。ねえ、噂をすればなんとやらだよ。
Being jealous about me being chosen for the wedding, perhaps? I think that was new as well. Someone's gonna hear you.
Sakuko, どこ行くの？こっち通るの珍しいね。
車が道を塞いでてさ。
千鶴や？
今は誰かと喋りたくて。
私も後から行くね。
うん。じゃあね。
裏切り者。
Oh. The audio is different when she says that. Very cool. Different audio, huh? Spooky.
Yo, 相棒。
シュウ。
あのさ。
うん。なんか言ってよ。
お前こそなんか言うことはないのかよ。
相棒にないんだったら私にだってない。
お前らしいや。
That conversation, this back and forth, feels so different now. Like, this is the same conversation, but it feels so different in relation to how they're like talking and acting with each other, because they feel like a lot closer later on in the game, like through those elements of, you know, being partners and whatever. But this specific conversation feels really tense. And I think there's like this element where I'm thinking about Hinako's marriage and going off, like maybe these like bits and pieces of these interactions are like that awkwardness of like Shu knows that we're going off to get married or something, and so there's this awkward tension between us of like anything you want to say, you know? And we can see it says hold to skip. So we know that this is a cutscene that we've seen before without anything new. So that's good to know.
俺はいつまでも応援するからな。
We will watch this one, but I will probably skip some of the future cutscenes.
シュウ君
Some of them I just want to watch to pick up on some like earlier character interactions.
リンコ。
何の話をしてたの？
I love that she's immediately like, she immediately gives herself away. What were you guys talking about?
しゃべりしたい気持ちだったんだって。
気が紛れたよ。
それはよかった。お役に立てて光栄の極み。会えると分かってたら借りてた雑誌持ってくればよかった。
ああ、貸したままでいいよ。リンコに貸した時点で戻ってくると思ってないし。
んだとこんちくしょう。笑いすぎだよ。サクコだってひなこから何か借りてるんじゃないの？
私なんかあったかな。ねえひなこ、じゃあ私が借りてる500円も返さなくていいよね。
サクコ利子つけて返すとか言ってなかった？
言ってないよ。証文あんなら出してみろ。
いいこと聞いた。これからはサクコに貸すとき消しゴムであっても証文書かせるから。
そんな意地悪言わないでよ。
in comes our first interaction with our fog monster, aka us, coming in to destroy Hinako.
ごめん何
裏切りも
I still don't know if I understand specifically this moment. I don't know if I specifically get this thing. You know what I mean? Why this moment? We can definitely see a little bit more of the silhouette now. At least, like, we can recognize it. We get to witness these cutscenes in 60 FPS for the first time, because it was in 30 last time we played. I'll go the right way by going left, instead of getting trapped. Oh, look how much better that looks when it's not half the frame rate. No, 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 no. Don't go the wrong way. I'd like to make it through here without dying. Oh no, I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again. Oh, yeah, it was the ladder. No, I didn't fuck up. Junko with the bell. We heard the bell. Why is she helping us though? Me when I think I fucked it up. We can be...
週にもらっててよかった
Note from Shu. Hey partner, these painkillers should work best for you. They'll not only take care of your headaches, but also any pain from injuries. I suspect the main cause behind your nasty headaches is from you unconsciously grinding your teeth when you're upset. Does that sound about right? If you ever need to talk or anything, just call my name and I'll be there. So the nasty headaches from unconsciously grinding your teeth. I don't know, man. I think it's a little bit deeper than that.
相棒の言う通りだな
Well, we can be grateful that we've been picking up some Arare instead. New Game Plus got us covered. They say, here you go. You see these lovely little red pills that we got here? Get them out of here. Throw them away. There is no version of ourselves that is going to ingest such a thing. Not even accidentally. I guess that's like an element of like memory that gets like deleted first, which is why that comes up. But just like the fact that she was calling me you traitor, like just straight up in that moment. You're the one borrowing fucking money from me. We're picking up the steel pipe early.
ここどこ
So instead of doing the previous steel pipe weapon introduction, we're gonna start getting attacked early. I guess we can fight against this this monster. All right. Anytime we see a red capsule, we'll obviously just leave it alone. We're not gonna pick it up. You have to resist the urge to pick up specific items. I'm glad that we don't have too many of the very typical squeeze through tight space moments. They don't overstay their welcome, which is good.
シュウリンコ
I did go the wrong way, didn't I? I jumped over there first when I shouldn't have, because I don't know if there was something there. Hopefully not. Probably not. That's the that's going to be the thing that'll trip me up, is I don't want to miss anything new. Okay. Interesting. Oh, I literally pressed dodge. So we're doing, without doing the intro to the monster this time. So I'm gonna have to lock in more in regards to the difficulty. Losing sanity and losing health. Didn't even take that many more hits though. So maybe it's just more damage that we take. Even on story, we could take a lot of damage quite quickly. Okay. Enemies aren't particularly stronger. They're probably just gonna deal more damage, I guess. The good news is, with how we played last time, we only ended up really taking the red pills, not because we had to, but just, I was like, well, it's an option, so I guess we'll take them. We're always pretty good with other healing items. So hopefully that stays the same. I wonder if the only radios that we're going to hear will be new ones now as well. Because I think we went in here and we got this radio the first time. Now we're going to actually enjoy eating the Yokan instead of offering it.
孫川鉄橋は崩落しています。繰り返します。孫川鉄橋は国籍不明円盤の攻撃により崩落しています。恵比寿ヶ丘地区から東へは脱出できません。繰り返します。
I can't remember if that's what was said the first time, so I'm going to have to actually go and check. We'll pull up episode 1 and we'll see what the radio said. just so I can actually confirm if we're getting new dialogue on the radios or not, because I think that was the bridge that they were talking about at Rinko's place, right? So, confirmed, it actually talks about something different. It talks about, you know, like stuff related to women and cooking, but now, obviously, talking to us about the bridge. So the radios will give different dialogue even if they were ones in locations we've gotten them before. So it's good to know that even existing radios that we've listened to will be worth it. Run away. Oh my god, what a goddamn dodge. Running in there for a red capsule that I'm not even going to pick up. Tut, tut. Oh, get it away. Get it away. It's only consuming them. I can pick it up, right? Surely. It's just the problem if you consume them. Because we've had them in our hand before. They get given to us by Shu, and then we just immediately throw away because we're just so well behaved. I was waiting for this guy to come out and play. Oh, classic. That's what I was waiting for. We're going to have to play a lot smarter on that front to hold on to our sanity and our health, making sure we definitely hit those counters. Anyone? Good news is, by not picking up the pills, we will have a whole second slot for bandages. So this is locked, right? I've got to get the key for it. Never mind, it's this one that's locked. But I think the only thing that was out here was the Omamori, and if we've already gotten it, surely we don't need to go back in, right? Household Tips for the Good Wife and Wise Mother, a collection of loving ways for mothers to create the perfect home. So getting new, like, advertisements and magazine covers and stuff as well is also a really neat touch. You can tell that there was a very good level of thought going into replaying the game as like an intended experience. I know you're in here. Alright, so you'll appear after I do this. We'll go and investigate the face on the ground. If I put that there, there is no reason for the red pill to ever be in that first menu. Ah! It's just like I'm going to have to struggle with the element of, you know, wanting to pick it up just because it's an item. And I go, ah! Get him away, cold turkey. Get him away. Get him away, cold turkey. The bloody key. I know that you're there. When does it make its presence known? It's walking around. Last time we had a much better go of this, I think. I played this better when it was accidental. Okay. They're not coming out this time. Oh, Jesus. Wait a minute. What? Wait, what the fuck? Why was it there? What the fuck? Wait, what? Oh, no, what the fuck? Wow. I was like convinced. What the fuck? Dude, I was convinced it was in the room. Like, to the right. Wow. Much stronger, too. Jeez. Okay. It was tucked away right there. And I'm like, oh, it's over here somewhere. Getting jump scared by an enemy that you know is there is funny. The backdoor key. Well, look, I've defeated the enemy. So at the very least, what we can do here is see if there's anything actually out the back door for us to grab. It's no harm done. Okay. There's some harm done. I'm scared about breaking my weapon. Scared about breaking my weapon. I do not have a toolkit. So hopefully there's a toolkit down here. That would be my wish on my Christmas list. Let's see how we go. Okay, we get a dried carcass. I mean, I'll take it. It's faith, I suppose. A little stressed. A little stressed. What happens if I lose a weapon? We're cooked. I need another one. I guess they'll probably replace Omamori with offerings instead. That would make sense. So it's not just an empty space. They're nice to us about that, aren't they? Leave me alone, creature. I don't have enough weapons to deal with this. I've got an almost broken steel pipe. Oh, these things, like I was convinced this whole time when we were seeing these boxes, I'm like, it looks like this shit should open. New Game Plus boxes at the shrines. The talismans burn away. According to the Nihon Shoki, one of Japan's most ancient history books, Yamata no Orochi, a colossal 8-headed dragon, demanded a sacrifice of beautiful young girls for it to devour. Upon hearing this, the wild deity Susanoo no Mikoto brought 8 barrels of sake to the dragon and lured it into drinking them. Once Yamata no Orochi had become intoxicated, he slew the dragon by chopping off all 8 heads. And according to Abisu Gooka's oldest historical records, after being decapitated, one of Yamata no Orochi's heads flew far west and fell between the mountains of Higanokuni. The head eventually came back to life as a poisonous water dragon that plagued the land for many years to come. Higanokuni is now known as Abisugaoka. There are records of toxic gas leaks from the underground water streams in the past. It is highly possible this is where the legend of a poisonous water dragon stemmed from. However, while the local records state that Yamata no Orochi's head flew here, there is no mention of this in the Nihon Shoki. It's not hard to surmise that some shameless individuals put a religious spin on the noxious leaks to turn a profit and falsified connections using famous literature to solidify their claim. It's very crazy how back in the day there was a lot of like, so many things are unverified and it's like very exaggerated storytelling from so many different angles about like what people did, gods, you know, ties to religion and what things mean, and just like the way that, you know, humanity over thousands of years have applied meanings to things, or people that are also covering things up by trying to apply something else to it. Like, they're like, the poisonous water dragon cursed the town, cover up the gas leak. Just crazy. Cool that we're going to get, it's not just an aimer. It does confirm New Game Plus aimers, but cool, cool documents to read as well. So now what we'll get from here is an increase to health. It's gonna take a lot to get us back on track though, with all of the faith that is needed for this. Don't know how it's gonna work. Maybe there'll be a lot of things I'll turn in. I think that's the thing, if you go to all of the previous Omamori spots, if you go to the previous Omamori spots, you should be better equipped for the situation. Straight into combat, because it was not a new scene. Sorry, Sakuko, but it's time for us to move on. Hey. I'm walking here. New cutscene, here we go. Oh, that was added in after. An interesting layer. Oh, that's gonna be cool when we see like what happens when we kind of pass out. We might get a little bit more, like when we see us get, like we fall down the stairs, we might actually see what happens there. Flesh and blood so our clan may prosper. Oh no, they're gonna make me do the puzzle. They're gonna make me do the puzzle. They're gonna make me do the puzzle. All right, we're on the slightly easier difficulty. So let's see how we go with this. Thy restless heart betrays thee as unfit for this auspicious day. Thou must first pay respect to the gods and the spirits of thine ancestors. A restless heart leads to a corrupt soul. Only through sufficient offerings laid upon many stands may thy soul be cleansed. What the fuck? Lost in the Fog was easier. Hold on now. All right, let me see what we're doing here. Let me examine. So this imagery, this symbol for people that are smart is supposed to help them out. We have markings on the actual stands. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. This essentially becomes like It's very, very interesting because I think I'm just going to end up matching it based on what I can see with like the symbols without even paying attention to the actual puzzle. Without even paying attention to the actual puzzle, I just lined up the symbols. This one's got pictures on it. I'm gonna put it with the other pictures. So this padlock is different because last time we had to actually find the middle piece. Now we just have to get the symbols. So we have to go back to these lovely devices after going through a lot of the skippable content that we've seen before. As I pass into the world of the dead, I pray only that I do not pass through the gates of hell. Please hear my prayer. There's a new note there. Let's get introduced to this guy first. Scrap of paper. What a beautiful place this is. Sparkling lakes, fragrant flowers, the melodic chirps of birds singing. This must be paradise. I don't know about that. Alright, we are forced to get the doll first, obviously. Lightning cast down from the heavens, split asunder the decayed tree. From the earth grows Kudzu, the prophet of eternal prosperity. What a delicious creature. So we know that what we're going for... Oh god, I'm trapped. That was very good timing. Oh my god. I literally was like, please don't get hit. That's crazy. Even though this dude's just gonna come back anyway. Thunder! So we got the pause sign for the lightning. We gotta find the tree, and we gotta find the kudzu in the other areas. Oh, I got stuck on the plank of wood. Awesome. That's just how I like it. That's what happens when you run around without a lantern. I always hate that this dude attacks, like, with that run. I always forget that he operates much differently to the other version outside of the shrine. I'm used to him like bouncing around a lot and being silly. And then I remember this version is much more aggressive and annoying. This is the Kudzu.
あと一つ。
Do we still have the bonus one that we can look for as well? I don't know if that's still included. So now we're just looking for the tree. There you are.
よし。じゃあお前を試そう。
Okay, we have all three for that. I don't know if it keeps the optional thing where it was like, here's a little protecting thing for you. Because we've already got the Omamori, so maybe it just gives us, like, a little item or something? I don't know. Nice, we got an Ama just sitting on the ground over here. Checking out this other side. We're a long way from having enough faith, but it'll be ready for us when we get there. We just totally did not come to this spot last time. I guess we just did not see this aisle. So that's how we got the Ama. And yeah, real big fan of the fucking eyeball tree. Jeez. Or is this only available in New Game Plus? Because there's an item here. A perspective on Hirogami. Tales of mortals being wed to gods and spirits can be found throughout every culture across human history. Certainly from the perspective of humans, to tie oneself to a divine being is an undeniable honor. However, if one were to consider the opposite perspective, the divine being is binding themselves to a vulgar life form, what could possibly motivate them to make such a degrading choice? Countless seasons have passed since I first came to this sacred land of beauty and wonder. And yet, even now, if I consider whether I myself am worthy of such an honor, I cannot answer in the affirmative with any confidence. So I must ask myself, what benefit is there to such beings mixing their divine blood with that of lowly mortals? To be clear, I am overjoyed to be of some use to them. However, I cannot help but wonder. And the Shrew Mole Omamori, dodging does not consume stamina while in near death. There's potential that I totally missed this area. But coming here in New Game Plus does give you that box that you can open. Disgusting eyeball tree. Oh no. Where'd you even come from? Where'd you even come from? You've been introduced too early as an enemy. That has to be a New Game Plus thing. Took a wrong turn. Now's not the time. I was like, maybe it'll let me. Of course it won't. Okay. 72 faith to fully restore my sanity from this point, which is probably not a terrible idea. It's just like when I'm trying to save up, you know, I shouldn't have drawn all those random Omomoris after all. I didn't expect to be doing New Game Plus. I reckon if I knew that, obviously, power of hindsight being very powerful, I probably would not have just drawn a bunch of random Omamori. I would have just, like, sat on it. I would have just sat on it. And then we'd be much better off. Okay. Yeah. That one was already on the correct one. Head to the door with the Inari statues. Why you gotta be so much faster than me, man?
先ほどの扉は客人を招くためのものだ。だが、こちらの扉は聖域へ入ることを許された者にしか開かれない。
私は入っていいの？
もちろんだとも。君を招くために今日がある。まだ少し歩かねばならないが、しばし休もうか。
大丈夫です。
疲れたらすぐに言いなさい。では行こうか。
Our inner child caught up to us so she could slip in to protect us, right?
しっかりしろ。返事をしろ。よかった。お前は簡単に死ぬようなやつじゃないよな。
シュウはまだ生きてる。
サクコは無事だよな。 体どうなってんだ。街から誰もいなくなってる。これが悪い夢なのか。
どこに行っても化け物しかいない。悪夢以外の何者でもないな。
だとしても幸運だったよ。この世界に残ったのが2人だとして、そのもう1人がお前で嬉しいよ、相棒。
リンコは？
俺はあいつに話があるって言われただけで、別にその。
リンコは無事なのか？一緒に逃げたんじゃないのか？
悪い。俺も混乱してたみたいだ。あの時はみんなバラバラに逃げた。俺もリンコの姿は見てない。
こんな状況でリンコはどこへ？
自分の家か。行ってみようぜ、相棒。
シュウ？
どうした？早く来ないと置いてくぜ。
Sometimes you gotta let the cutscene play because the music is just that good, right?
しっかりしないと。と
Okay.
にかくリンコを見つけなきゃ。
Nice spot to be in. Made our way through the opening area and out through the Dark Shrine. Ignoring red capsules, of course. And this is where we will save. And this is going to be where we bring our first episode of New Game Plus to a close. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed some of the new layers to the story. I like that it doesn't waste time in giving that to you. I think it is very nice to actually let you know if you are watching a new cutscene or a cutscene that's going to have something different about it. So it lets you know which ones are actually safe to skip. And yeah, just getting new environmental storytelling, new documents to read. Yeah, it'll certainly, you know, shed some new light on other elements of this story, which I'm really intrigued by. So I hope you'll join me on my New Game Plus journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.